Tomorrow marks 5 years since a man walked into a Quebec City mosque and killed 6 men there who were there for evening prayers. Ibrahima Berry, Mamadou Tanou Berry, Khaled Belkacemi, Abdelkrim Hassani, Azzedine Soufani, and Abu Bakr Tabdi. Joining us this morning is Farid Khan. He's the founder of Canadians United Against Hate, who's organizing a vigil for tomorrow night in Ottawa. Good morning to you.
Morning, Anne-Marie.
Can you take us back to the moment 5 years ago when you found out what had happened at the mosque?
For me, I was at home in the evening. I was flipping through the TV and saw the news report, the first news report on the news channels, and it sent a chill through me. And sadly, I mean, while I was shocked and horrified at what had happened, sadly, in some ways, I was not surprised, because in the years leading up to that tragedy, there had been a lot of anti-Muslim hate expressed both publicly and online, anti-mosque demonstrations and so forth. So sadly, it was something that I had been dreading for a long time.
Well, tomorrow, as we mentioned, marks the first National Day of Remembrance and Action Against Islamophobia. It took 4 years for the federal government to declare this day. And now that it's finally here, what are your feelings about this National Day?
Well, I think it was long delayed in coming. The Muslim community and activists allied with the Muslim community had been calling for this day since 2017. The fact that it took a number of years for the government to make a decision on essentially what's a symbolic act is disappointing. And it really calls into question how committed they are to actually taking decisive action on issues of Islamophobia across the country, which has been on the rise since 2017. We've had 2 more incidents where Muslims have been killed, one outside a Toronto mosque in September 2020, and then last year with the Afzal family. In Canada, there have been more acts of violence against Muslims resulting in death in the last 5 years than in all G7 countries combined, and that's a pretty shocking fact.
You currently live in Gatineau, which is just across the bridge from Ottawa. It's on the Quebec side. And when Bill 21 was passed in 2019, you called that a very dark day for Quebec. How have you seen Islamophobia rise in the province of Quebec since then?
Well, it's not just a dark day for Quebec, but I think it's a dark day for Canada when a government passes a law which essentially demonizes racialized religious minorities, which includes Muslims. And since that bill was passed, we've seen open acts of Islamophobia, racial slurs, Muslim women who wear the hijab being accosted, of course, all kinds of social media online. And there's been a rise in hate groups and people joining hate groups, not just in Quebec, but across Canada since that day. And the fact that the Quebec government continues to say this has nothing to do with being against Muslims is an absolute crock. There was a poll done just before the bill was passed in June 2019, which said that the foundation of the bill was anti-Muslim bigotry. So that's the reality of that law in Quebec.
An important part of the vigil that you organize for tomorrow is ensuring the victims are named, we named them off the top, and remembered. These are men who are in their 40s and 50s. Many of them were fathers. They worked in Quebec. They worked in pharmacies and grocery stores and information technology for the Quebec government. What plans do you have in place for tomorrow? What will it look like?
Well, we are planning to have a very somber ceremony. We will definitely, name them because they should be remembered and named on these occasions. But of course, this truck protest that is coming to Ottawa has thrown a grenade into the plans. I've been in consultation with Ottawa Police about issues of safety, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in Ottawa, given that extremist and racist elements have attached themselves to this protest. And so right now we're still planning on going ahead, but if it looks like there's going to be violence in Ottawa tomorrow as a result of this protest, this truckers' protest, then a decision will have to be made, which will be made late in the morning or early afternoon.
Do you have any safety concerns ahead of this weekend?
Well, I'd be lying if I said no. I mean, clearly there are safety issues given some of the voices that have attached themselves to the protest. At the moment, we are in consultation, as I said, with the police, and I've been in touch with all the people who will be participating, and we'll be sharing on social media what we're going to do moving ahead. If it comes to the point where it does have to be canceled, I will say I refuse to not mark the day. I will actually show up downtown at the location, at the Human Rights Monument, and I will light candles in memory of the 6 men, because I think it needs to be commemorated in some way, in a very visible way.
Recon, we're going to end this interview with what you're planning to do tomorrow, which is remembering the victims of the Quebec mosque attack. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.